If you send this grant back, somebody tell me what we're going to do. Just tell me.
We may never get other grants that's going to help us.
And here, little old Banning, here we are, swinging for the fences.
And I'm not quite sure where we've gotten to a place in society where we don't want to help people.
I'm a lot closer to any unhoused individual than I am to any millionaire.
Should you rescind this grant, give it back to the state? Absolutely not.
These people are getting released and they're being vetted. So they're just not criminals coming out and going to do criminal work over and over and over again. And for that housing project, we're putting people in places with Jeff Platt and Faith in Action. Different entities are going to be helping these men and women that are coming out of the system. But you know, there's a right way to do it. And I think by having this grant is one of the right ways to help these people coming out that want to make a change. If we let this grant go, we may never get other grants that's going to help us.
I want to tell a real quick little story here that helped me to understand what's going on down there, the importance of it. So there was a couple guys walking along the seashore, and as they're walking along, the whole shore is filled with these seahorses that have washed up and they're drowning. And it's just covered, and as they're walking along, the one guy, every few feet, he picks up one of the starfish and he throws it back into the ocean. And his friend says to him, well, why are you doing that? What difference does that make? What's the point of doing that? What good is that, for that? Or how does that help? And he said, looked at his friend, he said, well, it makes a difference to that one. But our experience with going down to Opportunity Village, there's been lives changed. It's an opportunity for them to get a new start, to get to be challenged to get a job and to start being responsible, look for permanent housing, and we've seen that happen.
I'm formerly incarcerated and actually stayed at your pods. I've been homeless for 2 years now. But when I got here, I found a safe place where I could get a little bit of dignity back. When I got to the pods, they received me like, not like a dollar bill they saw. I had no idea about these grants or where the money's going. They saw me as a human being, put me in a safe place, fed me, clothed me, and it's a good thing. If you're gonna throw this money away, it's not a good idea. I just think you should help people as best you can. And some of us run over some bad times and just need a little help. I feel much better now than I have in 2 years. And I'll be honest with you, if I get this job here, I'll become a resident of Banning. And that's how much I appreciate what you folks have done for me.
Since this grant has previously been accepted by council, if we turn it down now, we will be blacklisted from other state grant funds for a number of years. That ranges anywhere from $4 million to $10 million per year that we would not receive in state funding for other programs.
The service providers that are working on these grants, so North Shore, Step on Second, Salvation Army, they have existing housing programs that are also outside of Banning, which means they aren't required to stay in Banning. Step Up on Second, for example, operates supportive housing programs throughout Riverside County. So just because they're being released out of the county jail here doesn't mean they have to stay in Banning. The grant allocates significant funding to housing, transportation, wraparound services that extend not only in Banning but beyond Banning as well. I think when people have the impression that these 900 individuals who are going to be released regardless of whether or not this grant exists, people are going to be released. These people who have second chances and really want to make do with the workforce development, social services that can really help bolster their lives. I really do hope that we, do keep this grant.
Should you rescind this grant, give it back to the state? Absolutely not. It would be a crime, a sin for the city to do this. It says our mission as a city is to, in a cost-effective, citizen-friendly, and open manner, provide the people with a safe, pleasant, and prosperous environment in which to live, work, and play. Well, it just so happens that the Larry Smith Correctional Facility is located right in our city. It's our responsibility and somewhat our duty to serve and to help those folks that need a second chance. We need collaboration, people working together to take care of the issues that we have at our hand.
Our city budgets are a reflection of the priorities that we have in our community. I would just plead that we make good use of this funding because this problem, we can't just continue to kick the can down the road or hope and pray that another city deals with it. And it's grant money. It's not like it's coming out of our city budget. Gosh, the way we treat others is a reflection of our own humanity. Some caring resident mentioned that the big cities have gotten the most money. And here, little old Banning, here we are, swinging for the fences, pulling in $8 million. I think that's something that we should celebrate. These are building blocks. This is an economic foundation that we can expand and help cultivate. The more resources that we give these people, the more chances that we give them as far as being able to have a roof over their head, to put food on the table, to be able to get a good job. If they decide to stay here, which we should welcome, they'll be able to invest that money here if we build the economic foundation as we have slowly been turning the ship toward. Again, I just plead, I hope that we keep this money. I think it is an economic, good sense, and it's important for the bedrock of our community and a reflection of, our heart, I guess, at the end of the day. Thank you.
For the Salvation Army, this is about helping people. And I'm not quite sure where we've gotten to a place in society where we don't want to help people. One of the best things the Salvation Army has is we have a treatment facility in Paris, in San Bernardino, and in Orange County that costs the Salvation Army about $40,000 per person for 6 months of treatment. When we got the opportunity to participate in this grant program, I said, this is a great opportunity to make change in a community and help support people and it not cost the city funds itself. And I'm not sure if any of you have ever dealt with anybody with mental health addictions. That's not their fault. They need help. But all I can say is that we need to get back to helping people. When it's all said and done and the smoke disappears, we're going to be in this community. We're going to be helping people no matter what. Whether there's money or there's no money, we're going to be in this community helping people. It's not going to be 900 people in your community. If Mark Davis was at coming out of prison or coming out of jail, whatever the case it is, and Mark Davis says that Mark Davis wants to go to a treatment facility, Mark Davis is going to a treatment facility. He's not going to stay in the city of Banning. If Mark Davis has mental health issues and we contact Riverside University Health System and they need mental health support, Mark Davis is going to go where they're going to be offered mental health support itself. If Mark Davis says that I have family in Louisiana and we've confirmed that Mark Davis has family in Louisiana, we're going to send that particular client to Louisiana. If Mark Davis comes to me and says that I want to participate in the Homeless to Work program, mind you, has a 69% success rate of taking individuals that giving them some sustainability and giving them hope and giving them job opportunities. Some people going to college for the first time, getting GEDs, having the opportunity to be reunited with their family. This is about change. This is about helping people.
I know we're in a time when we just can't really agree on a whole lot of things. I think one thing you can agree on is if you keep looking away from it, turning away, thinking somebody else is going to do the hard work, it's not going to happen.
We're talking about people here. I sit down with these folks that we're talking about every day, doing these intakes, doing all this work that's not just as simple as like black and white, yes or no, right? And so it's not just as easy as saying like, hey, let's just wipe this grant away. Hey, like I just don't want any part in this. Inmates are people too. Unhoused folks are people too. And I'm a lot closer to any unhoused individual than I am to any millionaire. And I hope that everyone here can kind of keep that stuff in mind and show a little bit more compassion and understanding when we're talking about these decisions. I think withholding this grant and these opportunities that we already have in place is only going to make it a lot more difficult for us to move forward. We have these organizations that are already here before this grant was in place. This just gives us more ammunition and fuel to help the folks that are already a part of this community. A lot of the unhoused folks that we're talking about are from Banning.
What I want to try to do here tonight is try to clear some matters up on misinformation, misunderstanding, and perception. I am passionate about helping people, and I have been for 37 years. I don't just do that for them, I do that for myself. It keeps me focused and keeps my mind off things that should have tormented me more than it does. Came here 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago, opened my coffee shop, seen what was going on at Opportunity Village, and seen that it needed to get fixed. I volunteered in the village for 3 weeks. I didn't leave there for 3 weeks. It was in such a disarray. People were fighting. The gentleman before me was selling drugs. He was renting out rooms. He was selling showers. He was allowing the residents to control what was going on there. I walked into a living hell. It took me 9 months to turn that program around. Out of 173 individuals admitted to Opportunity Village, 124 were discharged as program success. That's a 71.5% success rate. That is unheard of. That is the most successful shelter anywhere right now. And I'm grateful because I do have community partners. I have a great staff. You won't get anybody from the state or the federal government to say this program isn't working, because I get calls all week long from different states, different cities, asking me to come and talk to their city councils and their government what they can do to make a difference in their own communities. My last call last week, Las Cruces, New Mexico. The reason this program is going to work is because I designed it. It's the same program we're doing at Opportunity Village. Somebody said here we don't have full wraparound services in Banning. We have 100% full wraparound services here in Banning. We utilize them every day. That's how we help change people's life. And I've had conversations with Sheriff Bianco. He's 100% in support of all this because they have the same problem. Governor Newsom came on the news yesterday and flat said, cities that aren't turning things into the green will no longer get any more grants. We're in the green. We've been in the green. We stay in the green. I doubt, other than the house monitor, there won't be anybody in those houses more than max 10 days. And the only people that will be in those houses longer are the people that were born and raised here, that got their life together, graduated a program. Now we have some housing until we can find them permanent housing. This little city got the #1 grant position out of every state and county. And it's because the way it was written, the way we put it together, because it works. More so than anything they've ever seen before. We got just as much money as San Francisco. We got just as much money as Los Angeles. We got more money than some of the other bigger cities. If you send this grant back, somebody tell me what we're going to do.
We were out there today. I'm not sure if you've seen us, but we were out there today, and David happens to be in the crowd today. With individuals from Opportunity Village, with individuals that are in the community. And as we're talking to those people in the community, what we're doing is we're talking about when they're ready, we can provide treatment. When they're ready, we can get them help for mental health services. When they're ready. And sometimes they're ready right then and there, and sometimes they're not ready at all. But you know what? Again, when they're ready, we're going to be there. I mentioned about our rehabilitation centers. And how much that cost. Again, we don't receive any grant funds for that particular program itself, for the rehabilitation center. And it cost the Salvation Army $40,000 for 6 months for someone to be in a treatment facility. And I am happy, thankful, and blessed to serve the community of Banning itself, because I know we are going to make a difference no matter what.